Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we talk about the in-game news for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, take a look at the events that are coming out this week, and talk about what kinds of killers that you're going to need to complete those events. And here's the good news. There is no events this week, so you don't need to prepare for anything. So if you look here, we've got summons, campaigns, information, but no events. So really, there's not anything to do other than this event here, this thing here, the Esper of Destruction. Technically a story like series event kind of, but there's nothing really to it. So there's really nothing to prepare for, nothing to get ready for, unless you consider summoning for units an event in and of itself. And so they talked about the new unit, Neovision plus Lastwell Esper of Destruction. They talked about this on the live stream a couple weeks ago. They told us all about what Lastwell does, what Neovision's plus is. They talked about TMRs and SDMRs and vision cards and all that stuff already in the live stream. So none of this is really anything new. They're just saying here's Lastwell, but the problem is there's nothing to do with Lastwell, and I'm not even saying specifically nothing to do this week. There's also been nothing to do last week, unless you just really like farming that you've probably already done, or old trials, refighting the Clash or the Dark Visions boss with new units that you can't technically score anymore for, or maybe even that's already closed. I don't even know. Let's go take a look. But the point is, there's nothing to do that you're supposed to pull these units for. There's no stages that come along with this unit. There's no Clash of Wills stuff that you can do. Can we do this? We're outside the scoring point. You can still go in and fight this boss if you really want to. You're just not going to get a new score, which is fine. But there's nothing to do is the point, right? The point is that there's nothing to use these units for unless you just feel like horsing around. And frankly, I feel like just horsing around, it can be a lot of fun. But it's not really inspiring me to chase after a unit. And as you can see, I've even got a copy of the new Rain unit. I pulled one off of a video summon, and I'm gonna put him in the fragment dungeon and level him up. But other than that, I'm not really chasing after units that don't have any content associated with them. And I think that is an issue. Because if people aren't spending, then the game doesn't have money. It kind of goes hand in hand. So it's very circular, right? We have to have stuff to do. We have to have units to do it with, and they have to be exciting so that people will pull, so that they have money to make more units and more stuff that people would want to do. We're getting the units. You could argue whether or not they're exciting when most of the time you're going to be using these units for Dark Visions, and we're not getting one of those until May. And none of this is new information, right? So it's not like we haven't been talking about this for at least a month, right? That there's just nothing to do. I skipped Tuesday Preppers 2 weeks ago because Esper of Destruction Part 1 came out, and that was all we were getting, and there was nothing to prepare for. Last week I did Preppers because technically there was some content this week for us to do with the farming event, Aqua Killer, yay. But then here we are again. Esper of Destruction Part 3 is the only thing we're getting. There's nothing to do, and nothing to prepare for. So I guess what you're really preparing for, if you see pulling units as an event in itself, is you're preparing your Lapis store, right? But why would you do that? Why would you spend money with nothing to do with it? That would be me going and buying a jar of olives, knowing that I don't like olives. It would serve me no purpose to buy a jar of olives in my house because I just don't like them. I guess if you want to think about okay, maybe there's future units that are coming out or future things, but what if when those units come out, there's no content? What if you're really excited about the dark team, the dark combination, Dark Fina and other dark units are going to go along with it, right? Maybe you're really excited about that. But what if they skip all that dark content as well? So what's the point of pulling those units other than just being favorites? And if we have nothing to do, we have nothing to do. And so I think that's a big issue, and one that does not inspire me to want to spend money in the game. I already didn't spend a ton of money in the game. I'll be real about that. But like, I don't know. I kind of reached a point in my life where I was like ready to kind of like invest a little bit more in the game than I had been. And now I don't even want to, because there's nothing to do with the units that we chase after with our money. So there it is. That's really nothing else to say, right? There's like nothing to do in the game this week. No reason to pull, and no reason to prepare. So that said, I will not be doing Tuesday Preppers stream tonight on Twitch. In fact, I've got some work to do around the house for my real job that kind of requires me to spend some time on the computer tonight. So I'm not going to be streaming at all. So this is it for tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will see you guys on Thursday for something. I don't know. Like, there's nothing really to do for me and my account in FFBE, so I will probably play something else in the absence of things to do. Have a good one. Be good to each other. Take care, and we'll see you when we see you.